The defending champ. They've got the experience. They've got a lot of talent coming back. They should be the favorite today, but they're not.
Why aren't they? In my book, they are, but a lot of people are so in love with this Penn State offense, and why wouldn't they be? I mean, this Penn State offense is operating at an historic level to the point where people think the Nittany Lions. My friends, he's a capable lacrosse player with great stick work, more than ample speed. He's got the mind of a warrior, by far the best Fogo in the country, and his dominance could tilt the possession scale.
In the first meeting,
scoring and fast-tempoed.
Andy Shea, very relaxed when we spoke to him yesterday, back on this stage again. Yale's third semifinal. They're the defending champions. For Penn State, this entire journey this year has been a venture into one brave new world after another. In the first round, they won their first NCAA tournament game. Won in the quarters against Loyola. Penn State, largest alumni base in the country, has made their way to Philadelphia. T.D. Erlin and Gerard Arceri, and Erlin wins the opening faceoff. No surprise there, and Yale will go to work first. Pat Brandow, 41 in blue. More goals and points than any other Yale freshman in school history for Penn State. Only 10 of 24 against Yale in the regular season. Eli's win against Penn State this year, the only loss the Nittany Lions have suffered, but they've won 13 in a row. Here's John Danigelis, the senior captain. Nice pass, and a shot and a score from Jackson Morrill. That's career point number 200. It's the first tally of semifinal number 2.
Disappointing start for Penn State's defense because this is a staple of Yale's offense. It's a wing dodge by Danigelis. Morrill does such a great job.
One of the all-time greats already at Yale. He's got a national championship. Third-team All-American this year, now tied with John Reese for second in points. And Yale 2 for 2 on faceoffs.
Jeff Tambroni told us yesterday, stopping the wing dodge, job number 1 defensively. So much of Yale's offense starts in that low wing.
Morrill against Chris Sabia, 16 and 1. Yale won in overtime last week against Penn. Here comes Crump to the cage, and a flag after the goal counts. Make it, take it, make it.
Count it. Crop is a big dude. That push will be wiped out. Sophomore from Florida with a huge upside in terms of his future. You see that move, he uses
playing relaxed can be scary good. They're scary good to begin with.
Well, you look at the nucleus from that national title team a year ago. So many of those guys back. Sessa, Danigelis, guys like Lucas Kotler. Joey Sessa has been amazing.
There's no other position in sport like the face-off man in lacrosse.
Danigelis draws the slide over to Gaudette. Now it's Jack Ty. He had the game winner in overtime in the quarterfinal win against Penn. Ty down the alley against Nick Cardeal. Gives it up to Brandow. Turns the corner and scores. And right now, Yale coming out sizzling.
You got to be thinking timeout if you're Penn State. Because this one's going to get ugly early.
A timeout by Jeff Tambroni. Penn State's maiden voyage to championship weekend. The large alumni base in the greater Philadelphia area is here. They're quiet early because Yale has played the music so far. They've won every face-off. Penn State hasn't had the ball. Brandow, the freshman, turning the corner, winning his matchup. The defending champions as the underdog? I'm not so sure.
You didn't play football, you were a lacrosse player. When you play football today, what influence does the sport of lacrosse have on you?
Oh, it's huge. It's where I came from. It's what I did all throughout college, and it's a big part of my life. I met my wife. She was a lacrosse player, and to this day, I love the sport and I love where it's going, and I just love being a part of it.
Is it true that Ashley was actually the better lacrosse player? Ashley, what's your response to that?
Definitely.
Definitely. Chris, when you watch this offense, what separates it from the rest of college lacrosse in your mind?
Just watching these guys work together. They all have just incredible stick skills, and the way that they're able to move the ball and to use all their strengths. I mean, it's fun watching these guys play. They're explosive. They can score fast, and that's why they're able to put up a lot of points throughout the year, and just exciting to watch.
Well, it's great having you here. We're going to let you enjoy the rest of the game, and good luck in your next endeavor playing wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. We know you're going to crush it, bud.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Chris Hogan, first offensive possession for Penn State. TJ Malone, the freshman, whiffed. Bodies flying. Yale comes away with it, and a transition opportunity. Shot by the long pole. It's a save, and Kanice digs it out from the side of the net. There's a long outlet. Now Penn State coming right back. Grant Ament, 91 assists. That's on Sessa. Looking for Brandow. He's back to tie. Angelis behind the cage. Jackson Morrill. Feeding right on the crease to Brandow. Yale with a 4-0 lead. A perfect start for the defending champions.
I mentioned that first matchup with Penn, where Yale's offense struggled against the Quakers' zone. Poise.
Salutatorian of his high school class. He actually had to score and shoot on his twin brother, Chris, who started the first round playoff game this year between Yale and Georgetown. Chris, the goalie for the Hoyas. Andy Shea told us last week, as good as Brandow is, he still hasn't figured out how good he can be. And Yale's going to have to...
237. Is that a lot?
I think so. I'm not smart enough to know, Q. Here come the Nittany Lions, and we get a flag down on Penn State.
Yale's playing tight perimeter defense, trying to make the Nittany Lions beat them off the dodge.
Blue 42, 30-second holds.
Now this actually will be on Yale. It's Brian Ward against Matt Donnelly. Gets him right in the head.
Yeah.
Number one in the country with the extra man.
Shutting off O'Keefe.
So Nick Spillane, the senior, with his 5th man up goal, and Penn State is on the board.
Make up your mind. You got to make up your mind. You want to shut off Mac O'Keefe, nation's top scorer. There's 5 other dudes who can get it done.
and it takes you out of your base man down defense.
Third different face-off man. It's Kevin Fox, senior out of Annapolis, a long pole. Quinn explained the strategy in putting a long stick at the face-off X.
Right here, this portion of the face-off. Admitting that TD may win the draw, but we'll chase him down. We'll force him into some turnovers. We'll harass
both. Matt Gaudette with a rocket. He was the most outstanding player of Yale's championship run a season ago.
This is
not at all. If you watch them play all season long, they've been at the top echelon in the nation in terms of shots per game. This is a hyper-speed offense in itself, and right now, Fox takes another draw against TD, and he is absolutely dominating this matchup. And if you're Jeff Tambroni, I don't blame you for rolling out the long pole right away. And if you're going to be Fox at the X, you got to be physically and make Erlin pay every time he picks up a ground ball, because if he's not beat up late in this game, you're in trouble, man. You're not going to get the ball.
It's already 5-1 Yale against a Penn State team that has scored 46 goals in the first two games of this tournament. Only one at the 6.5 mark of the opening quarter.
Yale is on pace to score 40 goals.
Well, they got to find a way to stop Yale right now. Matt Gaudette using terra firma in 6-1, defending champs. Handsome Dan likes it, I think.
He loves it. Why wouldn't he? You know, Matt Gaudette, it's interesting. His freshman and sophomore year, we didn't see the crazy range from 44 in blue. He was dunking a lot of his goals, but now those last two shots, one was from the low wing, goal line extended, and he stung it high. This
behaved. We used to call him the Undertaker because of his facial hair and his ominous, mean look.
TJ Cannella now the fourth face-off man for Penn State. So when Jeff Tambroni said a half dozen, he's already at 4.
I mean, when you think about this dominance, the big play for Yale, they draw tons of energy.
Yale's a high-volume team when it comes to shots. Not really efficient like Penn State. Not the case today. They're 7 of 10 shooting as Joey Sessa makes it 7-1. And folks, if you've watched Penn State this season, as good as Yale is, as good as TD Erlin is, what we're seeing right now is stunning and shocking.
Jeff Tambroni may have to use his second timeout already. They fell behind Loyola last week in the quarterfinals. But it starts with the ride. Okay, you think you're in good spot? They bait that pass to a long pole, then collapse. Space disappears quickly. Look at Sessa. 3 in blue, right side of your screen.
$7-1 Yale. Danagelis gets free. Draws the slide. Danagelis with a rocket. It's 8 goals last week in the quarters. As Arceri and Erlin do battle one more time. On the season, Arceri, no slouch, 63%, 11th nationally.
I was going to say,
all-time
in my eyes, he's a top 10 type Fogo.
But that's just how good TD Erlin is. He's got a goal today. Yale has had its way offensively. Now Lucas Cotler, back-to-back 5-point games.
Zone defense from Penn State.
Crop over to Brian Tevlin. Cotler shoots and scores a 9-goal first quarter explosion by Yale.
Grant Damon, Mac O'Keefe, spectators. Jeff Tambroni has got to burn his second timeout because he's in the danger zone of getting blown out before this game even starts.
Down to Kark with the greatest face-off man of all time.
That's right. They call him the GOAT for a reason. The only face-off guy ever to be a 4-time first-team All-American in 2015, led Denver to a national title. Trevor, what are you seeing at the X today?
You know, I'm seeing a dominant performance. TD is dominating the game, and you can see it's really translating on the scoreboard. Yale's offense is playing loose, and Penn State's offense is playing tight. You know, they're not getting a lot of touches of the ball, and it's really because of TD's dominance out there.
You know, every face-off guy stylistically is different. What is it about TD, and you've faced him, that makes him so good?
I think he's really comfortable in those in those scrum situations, you know, and he has really great footwork. I think that's what really sets him apart. And I think even more so this year, his stick skills have gotten a lot better, and he gets out of pressure a little bit better. And you can see, I mean, he's doing a great job.
Escapability for sure, and that's something you had in your days at Denver. If you were to go in that huddle right now and talk to the face-off guys at Penn State, what would you say to them?
I'd say keep grinding, obviously. First of all, it's to switch it up, you know, make it tough for him and just make him battle. You know, I think you never want to make it easy for him. You know, he's going to win his face-offs because he's really great, but you want to make it extremely hard. So every time he's coming off the sideline, he's like, oh, I'm a little beat up. That was a lie. And then just wear him out. Try to wear him out as much as you can. And I think they can do that. I think they got the legs to do it. So hopefully they can do that.
It's great spending time with you today. Don't go anywhere. We might need to pick your brain again. Thanks, buddy.
As always, Clark. Thank you.
Coach Tambroni may want to grab a jersey and a helmet and sneak him into the game. That's what he may want.
The type of efficiency numbers that, let's say, Penn State does.
No, they're not a bad shooting team. They're a high-volume team. But if you're Penn State in that last huddle, okay, your seniors need to step up, echo the coaches. But what's important, I think Jeff Tambroni probably said, I don't care if we don't win a single face-off the rest of the game. We have come too far to play this poorly.
Moreland gets knocked backwards, and now Yale will have a man-up opportunity with 2:18 to go. It just continues to snowball for Penn State.
We may go down here as a team, but it's not going to be because we didn't try. We're dealing with championship weekend. In the 90s and 2000s were difficult. We had very few teams who could show up at championship weekend and perform well.
UVA played on this stage. Virginia will get the winner on Monday. Cavaliers, another comeback to knock off Duke in double overtime in game one. Yale on the extra man. How about this? A perfect 10. Penn State's offense doesn't even have an opportunity.
Exactly. We don't even know what this game possibly could be. I mean, how many times have we called Mac O'Keefe's name? How many times have we called Grant Ament's name? And I'll tell you what, sitting in between the two boxes, Quint, you said disbelief. It's like shell shock.
The good news is if Penn State can get enough possessions, there's hope that they can score.
Well, see, you got to get it across midfield, and you've got to be able to clear. And Penn State turns it over.
That's catastrophic. You finally win a face-off, and then you turn the ball over. But I will tell you, if you're watching this game, in the first round, Yale absolutely dominated Georgetown. Won every single face-off. The score was 7-1 at one time. Georgetown chipped away.
And Georgetown ended up making that a 19-16 game as we got a flag down near midfield.
Blue 16, 30-second technical push.
Now the push is against Will Renz for Yale, so Penn State gets the extra man up.
Big, strong, fast, and tough.
Best man-up unit in the country, going to work. Almost 60%. Amen to the maestro of this offense. Feeds to TJ Malone, who misses too high.
Yale really shadowing Mac O'Keefe, 3 and white.
He's got 12 man-up goals this season. And a bouncer by Jack Kelly to end what was a 6-0 Yale run.
Well, Johns Hopkins, late in the season, decided to shade Mac O'Keefe.
What happened? Jack Kelly scored 6 goals. There will be plenty of inside opportunities for Penn State. If Mac O'Keefe gets shut, and Jack Kelly is an absolute rising star, a sophomore from Canada, insane stick skills.
For goals in an opening quarter of a semifinal game. Maryland and Navy combined for 12 back in 1976, that bicentennial year. Mac able to scoop. 2 seconds. Nice trail check by Sessa to deny Penn State an opportunity. Quarter number 1 in the books.
Champs are here.
They are. And they announced their presence in the imperative. Yale, an underdog? I guess not. Defending champions, off to a roaring start.